right. Hello, everyone. So we're going to do a weaving lesson today. And this is one that I normally do with my 5th graders. And I had planned to do it with them. So I'm a little disappointed we couldn't. But hopefully y'all do it at home. I would like to see it. Weaving is one of those lessons that always surprises me every year at how much the kids actually kind of seem to enjoy it. And it's one of those that is, it seems to kind of relax them as they do it because they're able to still, kind of interact with their friends while they're working. It does take some thought to kind of get it going and while they're working. But then once they get the rhythm of it and the pattern, they're able to kind of do their own thing. So this is a paper plate weaving. And I have another weaving project that I would like to show all of you in within the next week or so. But this one is fun, and it doesn't matter what size paper plate you have. I have large ones here. This is one that we started. And if you've got like a smaller, like the cake size plates, it's going to work the same. You just follow the exact same directions that I'm going to give you. Yours is just going to end up looking a little smaller. That's fine. And then if you've got any scrap yarns laying around, whatever you've got, I've just kind of grabbed my coffee cups, not mine. And we'll get started. So what we'll do is first we've got to set up the plate. You see that it's got like this little web on it. And for the web, what we're going to do is... I'm trying to gather my thoughts. It's not a good morning. We're going to cut some indentations into the plate. So this one's already been cut. And let me bring you out a little closer to me. There we go. There we go. Just the camera. How's that? I don't know too high. Welcome to my crazy world. So I've already trimmed the plate. And we've got the indentions. I do it in like a little triangle. You don't have to if you just take the scissors and just kind of snip it in there. That's fine too. It's not a big deal. So you are going to create an odd number, 15 to be exact. And you want an odd number because as you do the weaving, it's an in and out, and it's going to create a pattern with it. And if you don't have your odd number, your pattern is just not going to work out the right way. So I've gone along and I have made 15 of these little notches. And they're about 1.5 to 2 inches apart. So that's kind of what you're looking at. Okay. Never mind that hole in the middle. That is for a different kind of a weaving. Now the next thing I did is on this one I used a dark one, but I didn't have any black at the house, so I'm going to use some green. And I don't have it cut yet because I want to make sure I have it right when I do the web, as well, that's what I call it. I don't really know what they call it. So I'm going to tie a little knot because I want to make sure it stays. And since I do little triangles, I'm going to make a big knot so it doesn't slide off. But once you kind of get going with it, it'll stay. And I'm just going to slide it behind one of these notches here. And it stays pretty good. Some people put like tape on the back so that it stays. You don't necessarily have to do that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it down to the opposite. Let's see what I'm doing. I can't see if I'm holding it in front of my face. All right. And then I'm just going to carry it over. You look at the back to the next notch. Left or right, doesn't matter. Now I'm back up to the front. And we're just going to start crisscrossing. And move back around on the back. So now we're just going to do this crisscross pattern. We're going to keep crisscrossing in the middle, make this little X pattern around the back. and up. And so you see why this is for the older kids. Around the back. Okay, down. We are almost see. So the back looks like this. And you don't want to pull it too tight. I'm kind of pulling it tight here, my plates. All right. As I finish this off, obviously I got nowhere to put this little guy. That one's going to go right across. I guess it don't matter. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this off my skein. If you had a scrap. Now I'm going to pull this into the center. Get this out of the way. I'm going to tie it to a bottom one. So it kind of tucks under there. And what this is also doing is it's pulling all these so they look a little bit more centered. So I'm going to tie this under there. I'm going to create a little knot. I know you can't quite see me, but I promise I'll show you. And so this is now underneath there. And if you want to cut that little knot, you can. It's going to be hidden under there, so it don't matter. But I've got my little knot there, and now you're ready to start with your string. If you want to use the same color, you can. I'm going to use a high contrasting color here so that you can see the difference. I'm just going to pull a little off so I don't get all loopy and froopy and stuck on myself. All right, so I'm just going to pick one of my strings to kind of start with. And again, I like to tie it in there so that it doesn't just suddenly pull off. I know some people don't. So I'm just picking a string that's kind of hidden underneath. And I tied it in there. And I'm going to tuck the knot down so you can't see it. And now I'm going to take my string. Some folks like to use needles. And I find it easier. It doesn't bother me. And let's just find a string to go over. Let's see, since I'm kind of over here, this looks like a natural string for me to go, see in here? This is where I'm kind of tied off. So this looks like a natural string for me to go over the top of. And that means the string next to it, I'm going to go under. And your strings, because they're long, are going to get stuck on each other. So I'm starting to figure out my pattern. This next one I'll go over. And the one next to it, gather my string. We're going to go under. Starting your pattern makes it, it's going to gather in the center. And it's not going to be quite so pretty as when we go out. And then you're just going to continue to go up and over. Some of the biggest challenges my kids have is, you know, they lose, especially if you come back to it. Where was I? Did I go up and over? I'm about to do that same thing. Up, over. Especially for starting out. You know, if you leave it and come back. But, you know, if you've got some string laying around, it is a nice little project. If you've got a bigger plate, it does take you a few days to kind of get through. And so it's a nice little project for them to kind of keep working on fine motor skills. It's quite lovely. And you do have to be careful about knots. My recommendation is to not give them a piece of string that is too long. And then when you come back, you should be, yeah, when you get back around, because you have an odd number here. Perfect. And your starting point, you're going to go under where you started above. There we go. Ta-da! See how that worked? Now, on this one, because I've already started it, I can switch yarns. And again, I'm going to use a high contrast color for you. Just grab what you want, cut it, take your end piece, and I'm going to just tie them together. Is this project fascinating to you? Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'll do that. I'll trim off a little so I don't have a whole big knot. And there we go. So now I'm attached. So not get that one mixed up. As I continue to do my over, under, eventually this little knot is going to find its way underneath something.
That looks like an eye.
It looks like an eye.
Yes.
And so I've just attached my other color. And you can kind of see the pattern a little bit clearer here, because this one's a little bit bigger and how it's developing a little bit easier. The black is real nice for showing off the pattern. And I'm able to kind of just keep going along and doing that. So I enjoy this. This is another one of those projects that as the kids start working on it, I kind of grab my own plate and go sit down and visit with them. And now you see how we're going to start covering up that knot down there. So that'll be hidden. And you can just kind of keep adding your strings and whatever colors you want. Even if you want to do it in the same color, because you won't be working with... look, how did I mess up somewhere? I sure did. I wasn't paying attention. Right. Even if you want to use the same color over and over, you don't want to give them a string too big. You just, again, tie it on and just let them keep on going so that they're able to control the size string they have. Oh, there's where I did it. See? Sometimes even I do that. Good job, art teacher. But that's what happens. Usually if you go back and look, you can figure it out pretty easy. And then, yeah, there we go. Good job, Ms. Mims. You figured it out. You love me and you not. All right. So anyhow, that's the weaving project. If you have any comments about the weaving, my silliness, how much I annoy you, I'm sorry. Told you it was not a good day today. But feel free to leave some comments, some suggestions even. It's not been a good day. Any projects you'd like to see, anything else, that I'd like to hear them down below. If you want to submit your own projects to me, what they look like when they're complete, please do so at my Twitter handle, which is Mrs. Mims and the number 1. You can follow me there for other antics, and we can correspond that way. I would love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for following along and doing projects with us, and we will see you guys next time. To all my friends, I miss you. I love you. Keep up the good work, and I hope to see your smiling faces soon. Bye, guys. Take care of each other.